My name is Tundu, and I came here when I was 5 years of age with my parents. Since I was a little bit small, we were not given proper education or proper advice regarding the invasion of our country, regarding any political matters. When I came here and I started learning, then I came to know that my country has been invaded. Before that, I don't have any knowledge. As per myself, there is a great change within China and also the people of Tibetans also. I think that now we are in the 21st century. We Tibetans don't hate the Chinese because they are also human beings. All the matters has been created by the politicians also, not by the Chinese people.
We are one of the organizers of the 61st Uprising March. So it was collectively organized by 5 NGOs in Dharamsala. And how I personally feel about it is that I feel encouraged that many of the youth participated and many of the youth have shown interest in political movements, and also shown, so it implies that they have interest in Tibetan national struggle. And so that for me is inspiring, that more and more youth are joining such political campaigns and political protests. But I feel like we also need to take it further. Like we need to combine the truth we have and the rich culture and history we have with the modern education, and that's how we will be able to bring our movement forward and mobilize the international community.
Yeah, currently we are doing a project called Fading History. So the target is like the target people is like above 60 or who have seen Tibet before the independence, when Tibet was independent. So when so far we did like around 300 interviews, and when I listened to what they have to share, somehow during this past 2 months, what I felt is like the present generation really needs to be more serious about the situation, because whatever we have now, of course mainly it's because of Dalai Lama's effort, but along with him, the elder generations, they have sacrificed a lot, and that's why currently we have a successful community wherever we are. So now they are on the edge. Now it's our turn. So the question is how we are going to keep the success.
My name is Kumba, and I born in India. So my father and mother is Tibetan. They are originally from Tibet. So I also learn Chinese, but our thinking is really important to stay in Tibetan culture. We need to talk with the Chinese because we are Tibetan. So I thought one day going to really important. So and now the many kind of things from China. So we don't know about if we don't learn.
There are many students who are going abroad to study, and they used to meet the Chinese students. Now time has changed that we became friends. Now we share our sorrow with each other. So they know our sorrow, problem, and we can understand their problem. I think it may come that there may be a change within the Chinese politics, and there will be a solution sooner or later. And even our leader, His Holiness Dalai Lama, advised us to make friends with the Chinese, to share our sorrow and to learn their problem. So through that, we can solve our problem. Through violence, it's a great loss for them and also for us.
We have different regional chapters in every part of the India. So they are responsible for taking care of their community wherever they are. So in every Tibetan community, the regional chapters of Tibetan Women Association is there. So they always do social work like handling the old age rooms, old age homes, and like sending us the name of the children who need scholarship for the personal education programs. And
We report us of women who has been harassed or abused. Yeah, so we are in contact with them, and we are one step more like vulgar and more exposed, like and also we are because that we are minority, we are also more vulnerable. So it's easier for them to target us.
even Northeast or Tibetans, like Bhutanese, like whenever they see us, they call us Chinese. So this is really discriminating. In my college, I haven't faced any specific discriminatory due to my Tibetan origin, but whenever we go to other malls or uh, other places, so the people used to stare at us, and they used to call us Chinkies, like Chinese. So that's when I feel so discriminating.
I think like almost all of the Tibetans have felt racism in India somewhere, in some part of India, like be it while traveling. You know, in here, like we have such a strong base of community, so it's hard to feel. Even though we have such a strong base of community, we still face racism, but. It's not as prevalent as it is in other cities, because here the Indian community is used to seeing Tibetan and faces different from theirs. But in cities, like major cities of India, where we go to study, where the Tibetan children go to studies, we feel racism on like almost daily basis. I have to travel in metro like every day, so I have to commute from from the hostel that I'm staying to college, 1.5 hour and 1.5 hour to and 1.5 hour from. So that's 3 hours each. Every day, every single day, and I haven't faced a discriminatory look, like a judgmental look, and it's not just from men. Men, they used to objectify us more than they objectify Indian women, because they. They treat us as inhuman, like we are some like dolls that are made to be the spectator to look at. So they will just look at from top to bottom and bottom to top, and they won't leave the gaze. And I feel like very threatened. I don't think it's just me. So, and halfway through the year you get used to it, and you feel you normalize it in your in your mind. You normalize it, because that it happens to you daily and repeatedly, so you somehow cope with it, with normalizing it.
I think that one needs to support this, because the world is beautiful because there are many colors, there are different races, and I think that brings the life on this earth, right? So right now we are on extinct, even the Tibetan population, our culture, tradition, everything. So it's going to be very sad if Tibet disappears forever, and moreover, I don't think the Tibetan culture and tradition is harming anyone, So of course, the world need to cherish this kind of tradition and culture rather than just neglecting it or ignoring it, right? So before being a human, I'm a Tibetan. Right? So, like you said, before I worry about something else, I need to be fit and fine so that I can worry about something else. So yeah, individually, even though the virus issue is huge, individually the global warming is huge, but somehow first I need to be free.
Now time has came it's very true that we should care for the environment. If we don't care, the next generation, future generation will suffer a lot. So it's a great alarm for us to take care of our environment, not only for yourself, for the future generations also. So in my restaurant, we used to serve straw with a Pepsi and other juices. So earlier there was a waste warriors who requested us to now should abandon these type of things. So I thought it's a good idea, and I started on my restaurant. Now we are not serving the straw. We use for 5 minutes, then throw. It goes in garbage. These cows eat these things. So it's a great damage. Now from my part, I can do as much as I could to abandon these plastic things. Since I have been here from my childhood 5 years of age, for me India is very grateful. They have supported us so much that now thousands and thousands of students have got education. They were able to go abroad to study, and it's all due to the support of Indian government. We are very thankful for the Indian government. On the other, we also want to see our country back. Even our elders and the present generation wants to see their own country, have their own home in their country, on their land, have a business, and want to see that country to develop like other countries.
My advice for the younger generation, from the moment we have came to exile, His Holiness the Dalai Lama along with the Tibetan have been fighting for our freedom, and still it's been more than 60 years, but we are still fighting for it. So to the younger generation, I hope that you won't forget all the work that the previous generation has done for the freedom of Tibet, and you will keep fighting. And I hope that you guys will be in Tibet. You guys will go to Tibet, and the freedom will shine in Tibet.
My message to the Chinese government is that you might have managed to garner economic and political power. You have killed more than 1.2 million Tibetan people, my brothers and sisters, and you are still violating human rights in Tibet. You are still exercising human rights violations in Tibet, torturing my brothers and sisters in Tibet. So I want to say that we are not scared of you, and I believe, and we all believe, that we will win this fight because we have the truth with us, and we have the weapon of love, peace and compassion, and with that we will win. And we have His Holiness the Dalai Lama, biggest weapon of love, peace and compassion.
In 1959, China come to our country and they destroy many of cultures and monk and monastery. So I want to study hard and eat healthy food and be thoughtful and be kind for other, and also be friendly with other country.